driving.
This doesn't look good. I mean, here we are riding around this guy. He's flatlander drives in the middle of the road. Come on, we're switching places.
Well, this is just rude.
Go put your seatbelt on. I have to tell you all the time.
I got it.
Remember the virtual world? I had to tell you put your seatbelt on.
You ready to get started?
Duct tape?
Oh no, but if your mouth runs today, that duct tape may be used other than we want to welcome you to this episode of On the Road with Danny and Robert. As you can see, Danny will be joining us today.
In the passenger seat again, obviously.
It's good to see you, but you know what?
He's still in training.
But you know what? You say that. Here's the thing. We're driving someplace I have never been. Driven to anyway. I've been a passenger there. It's my first time driving, so you'll be able to teach me things.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna let you help instruct me to be a better driver. You always say I need that, so. You
do need that. You know, that's going to be a big job, but I guess I've had worse. I don't know if you actually knew that I was a driving instructor. Do you remember that? Did
you tell me that every time when I get around you.
I need to show you my teaching certificate, Robert.
You don't have to show me because I've heard it long enough that I'll believe it.
You believe it? Well, that's the whole idea.
Every time I go through a stoplight, I stop at a stop sign and move. Every time I do that, you remind me that you have your CDL license. You used to teach.
Yeah.
And
so I'm qualified, but you know, I don't have a lot to work with as a thing here.
Yeah.
But I've had work.
That's just rude there. That's rude. But anyway, so we're on our way to Knott County. And Danny has set us up a great visit with an area technical school. And so Danny, want to give us a little information about why we're going, what we're going to see, and hopefully our conversations that we're going to have?
Well, we're supposed to meet with Mr. Mobley, the principal of the Knott County Area Technology Center, and he's going to talk a little bit about his school and how things are going now in this virtual time. And they've been in school a little bit, and now they're out again. So he's going to talk a little bit about his individual programs he has there, and kind of the things that are going on, and how each program is working through this pandemic we have right now. And so maybe we can learn a little bit about how that's done now.
Well, I would hope so, because I know it's the area technical schools, and you know a lot that's hands-on learning, hands-on doing.
See, there you didn't give a turn signal.
You're
gonna get us a ticket before we get here, Robert.
Here, I'll turn. There, I'll keep it on. I'll keep the turning signal all the way.
I'm trying to teach you right, Robert. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to have to teach you how not to interrupt me when I'm mid-sentence.
Oh, go ahead. I didn't mean to be rude.
No, that's quite all right. Oh, yeah. But anyway. So in these area technical centers, you know, that's hands-on learning. Of course, there are things they can do virtually online, but understanding how to do things and build and construct and wiring, etc., I can see where the pandemic had caused a little problem. So have you heard anything from our teachers and principals related to that?
Well, you know, we spoke with Knott County a couple of weeks ago about they have this tiny house project going on. We spoke to them about it, and they're doing some pretty good innovative things with a couple of their programs. We only heard from a couple. They're building an apartment maintenance class in the carpentry, and they actually sent some kits home where they actually teach students how to measure, to use a tape measure and a ruler, and then they sent, I think, some PVC kits home about the plumbing part of the building apartment maintenance class. But hopefully we'll hear a little more about all that went into that, and then what he's doing in some of the other programs. They have about 5 programs over there, and
I can see that safety is a huge concern when you can't be face-to-face in some of these schools, some of these programs.
Well, I think it's especially hard on those teachers in that building, because you know their bread and butter is hands-on with these kids, and they're not able to do that right now at 100%.
Yeah.
So you take that away from them, they're struggling a little more, I think, than say a math or an English teacher or whatever, or history, because they're not getting the hands-on that they would like to get.
We're in a situation that we haven't been in before, and I believe and everyone's doing the best they can. So my hat's off to everyone for trying to make it best for the kids, because everyone is very concerned in making sure our kids get the best education possible, regardless of how they're doing it face-to-face, hybrid, the times they can be online with their students. So it is a difficult time, but it's not just here, it's everywhere, all across the state. So we have good company in trying to figure this out. But I think, with KVEC, with the Kentucky Valley Educator Cooperative, I think we've had a hands up a lot of virtual learning opportunities and some of the things that we have out there.
Well, they're helping all these people right now with the ideas they're having and the structure they have for these people to help through this time of need right now.
So how long is this ride that you get to have?
It's about a 30-minute ride, Robert.
Okay.
I don't know if I can listen to you for 30 minutes straight or not, but I'm gonna do my best.
Well, if I run out of things to say, I'll just start singing to you. So
Oh no.
that'll make your time even more enjoyable.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You're not as good as Chris Stapleton, are you? Do you know who Chris
I
Stapleton is?
don't know who Chris Stapleton is.
No.
So
You haven't hardly lived.
yeah.
If you don't know Chris Stapleton.
Give me a song, and I'll tell you if I know him from my songs.
Oh, just like Tennessee whiskey.
Oh, yeah, okay.
See,
Yeah.
that's from Paintsville.
All right.
You know, from our region here.
Okay. All right.
I believe
Stay
four-time
corrected.
Emmy winner or Grammy or something there all at one time.
Yeah. And and I haven't listened and kept up with music in a long time. I listen to a lot of the old classics.
I do too.
So that's where my brain is.
And I'm not a huge country music fan, but I like his music
Yeah.
real well.
I remember one time my kids come in. They were so excited. They had heard some brand new music on their Guitar Hero at the time. They said, "Dad, you got to come listen to this music." So it was Leonard Skinner, Aerosmith, all the ones I had grown up with.
Oh yeah.
And so I was just singing along. Like, how do you know this, Dad? Like, this is my music growing up through middle school and high school. Of course I know it.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think
all of a sudden that music wasn't as cool as it was.
Well, I think it brought all that classic rock into the picture. Kids learned a new appreciation for
Yeah.
that, with that game. So,
Well, I think all music should be timeless anyway.
and I think it's kind of what KVEC does is they try to use something to tie what you need to know or what benefits you the most to, and they do a real good job of helping people understand what they need to be doing at certain times.
And I think with KVEC too, the idea of place, looking at what you have, you look at your economy, looking at your students, looking at your schools, looking at all the resources that you have so that you can build a learning environment and build the economy in your place and teach students the skills that they need to be entrepreneurs, etc. So hats off to KVEC for their work there.
And this ATC we're going to right now, of course, that's where my background is. Spent 29 years with career tech ed. But, I've always said that we do the best at that, I think, in the fact that we, at the CTEs, the ATCs, you give these kids a hands-on learning and they can go out and actually make a career out of what they learn in that class.
Yeah.
And that can happen in other classes, but I feel like the area tech centers do a real good job at that to help prepare these kids for careers.
I think so. And I'm looking forward to having a conversation with Mr. Mobley. Hopefully he can take us to look at not only tiny houses, but other things that the students and the teachers are doing in his district or in his county and schools. So I think it's going to be a good day.
Just a little intro on Mr. Mobley. His background was in ag. He was an ag teacher at Knott County Central High School. So when he did the transition over to the tech center, I think he was a real good fit for that because of his background. He was used to getting kids out and working with their hands and being creative and planning, and that fits in real good with the ATCs.
Great. So we shall be there in about 25 minutes. So Danny and I, we finished our ride. We just pulled into the parking lot.
Counting.
Yeah, it is. See?
Oh.
And
Oh, go ahead. You can go.
cut. Thank you, Danny. Danny and I have finished our ride, and here we are at the Knott County Area Technology Center. So we're getting ready to go in, meet the principal, have conversations with him, and so then we'll get back with you in just a moment. Well, here we are at the Knott County ATC. Danny took off, have no idea where he is. I'm just sitting here waiting. Typical Danny.
We're here at the Knott County Area Technology Center, and we're here with Mr. Steve Mobley, the new principal here. Well, not new. How long you have?
I'm still new.
Kind of new-ish?
Couple
Going on
years.
third year?
This month, yeah.
And he's going to show us around the school a little bit, tell us what's going on here, and talk a little bit about your school.
Okay, I can do that. I'm gonna make these guys go back.
All right.
Get 6 feet away
Yeah,
from me.
we're away.
And then I'll take this mask off so you can probably hear me a little better. Yeah, I'm halfway through my third year here at Knott County ATC. Previously, I was a high school agriculture teacher down at Knott County Central. Spent about 6 years there and worked for the Kentucky Department of Agriculture for a few years and taught in some other districts. So I've kind of made my way around, and this is kind of the end of my career. This is somewhere around my 28th year in public education, so I'm getting close to the end, but we're here at Knott County ATC. This is a great school. Mr. Vance preceded me as principal and did an outstanding job. We're very proud of our facility, very proud of our students here, very proud of our school. We currently have 6 programs here. We do business technology, we do internet technology, we do BAM, which is building and apartment maintenance. We do auto technology, carpentry, and health sciences. And I guess what we'll do at this point is I'll give you the grand tour of the building. This is Cody King. She's our business technology teacher, does an outstanding job. Young teacher, full of energy. She's a go-getter. Always has full classrooms. As principals, Mr. Vance and I can tell you that's important, and we have students up here that's...
I do a lot of recordings for videos, and even when I'm recording it, I'm trying to be energetic. And I mean, if you're in my classroom and something happens, I'm going to start talking just about anything and everything. So I don't write script. I just go off the cuff or whatever. I mean, I'll have phone calls. I'll have stories that pop into my mind. So I think that gets them not so worried about just looking at the assignment or whatever we're doing. It lets them know that I'm there. I'm a person too, and I'm going through this with them. So I try to bring in outside experiences and examples, and try to get them to realize the importance of life and how exciting it can be.
This is our information technology class. IT is a high demand job anywhere, particularly in Southeast Kentucky. There's tons of companies around here that are looking for folks that can maintain their internet. Everybody's got an internet program at their business. Most everybody's got one at their house, and nobody knows how to work on them. Just like everybody's got a car, nobody knows how to work on the car. Same deal with the computers. We've actually got a student help desk that we run through the high school. Anybody that has a problem with a computer, they call up here, and some of our students ride the bus, go down to high school, fix their computers. Every program up here will lead a kid to an industry certification that will ultimately lead them to a job. If that's what they're looking for, that's what we're here for. I mean, college is great, and a lot of these kids are going to go to college. But unless you're born independently wealthy, you're going to work while you're in college. So, come up here and get a certification and find a job while you're going to school. This is our BAM classroom and shop. BAM is an acronym for Building and Apartment Maintenance. These students in here get a little bit of everything. They do some plumbing, they do some electricity, some HVAC, do a little bit of sheetrock work. They've put in tile in a tiny house. It's just kind of a catch-all for the building type trades. I think anybody that's ever going to own a house probably needs to take this class. Very, very practical kind of information. Teddy Martin is our teacher, does a really nice job. This class is also involved in the tiny house. We'll do the tiny house last, and we get down to the other end of the building. We'll go in the tiny house and talk a little bit about it and what's going on with that deal. But that's part of what they do here. Another really good hands-on type program. This program will also lead you to an industry certification that hopefully leads to a job.
I work with Desi Bowling at KVEC with the Build It Forward project, and you mentioned tiny house, it's all the same, but this program is fantastic for that. I think at the time that this program it was shut down for a while and it got reopened, this was the only one in the state. And I think now there's another one or two popping up here or there, but I think people are realizing that this is a great program where it offers the variety in the whole deal. You got the carpentry, the electricity, plumbing, heating and air all in one program. And I think that's just a fantastic opportunity for these kids to be able to come to this program.
This program also got a KVEC grant for a solar system 2 years in a row. So the last tiny house had solar power, and this tiny house will have solar power as well. I started working with KVEC I don't know, 5 or 6, 7 years ago when I was teaching high school at Knott County, teaching agriculture, and I got several of those grants to improve my greenhouse. And we did some aquaculture stuff, we did some hydroponics, we even did some stuff with some koi. My wife is a high school teacher down here, and she's got a grant almost every year. And so when I came up here, I really thought that was a way for us to add a little money to this program. As Mr. Vance can tell you, money is tight here. So last year, 5 of my 6 teachers had KVEC grants. So we're very proud of that. We think that's a good relationship, and we want to continue to use that and build on that. This is our health sciences classroom and lab. First thing I want to show you is I've mentioned throughout this video that we've worked very well with KVEC, really good partnership. These are phlebotomy arms. We actually have a phlebotomy program here. Kids can get certified to draw blood. That's an automatic job. If you get that certification, you can go to any hospital, doctor's office in the country probably and get a job. These are very realistic. As you can see, the fake blood bags are hanging here. The kids can draw blood from these arms, and it feels just like doing it to a human. Very valuable skill, and that way they can use those arms and not stick the principal so many times. I get a little sore after a while.
Yeah, but you do.
But you got to do what you got to do. I do volunteer for that on occasion. But these have been really good. Like I say, that's another KVEC grant. We did that in conjunction with them. Really good program. And I tell kids all the time that want to go to med school or pharmacy school or dental school or whatever, if you're going to have to work while you're in school, why not work in a career that you're going to be furthering and working in a hospital setting or somewhere like that.
This is the carpentry class at the Knott County ATC, and Mr. Sparkman's the teacher here, and we'll let him tell us a little bit about what goes on in this room, and then we'll lead into the tiny house here in a little bit.
My name's Stacy Sparkman. I teach carpentry at Knott County Area Technology Center. This is year number 18, I believe. We focus on residential home construction, building houses that people will live in versus commercial construction, which would be office space. We do a little bit of everything other than that. I mean, we do little small projects for the high school, but our focus is building homes. The last few years, we have focused on building a tiny house, which is an excellent project because the kids get to see the process of building a house all the way from start to finish. Mm-hmm. In the past, we did projects where the kids may graduate before they got to see the end of a project. This is our tiny house, number 4, that we got the grant for KVEC from, which we greatly appreciate. What you see here is the back end. Our air conditioning unit will mount over here. This is the battery storage for our the solar power system that we're going to have. The students picked out the colors that you see. We actually had the stuff around the top left from last year, and the kids picked out this darker stuff to go with it. So. This tiny house has multiple windows in it. I believe there's 13 in total to let in as much natural light as possible. As you can see, most of the insulation is in. Our skylights are in. That one up there is covered along with these windows to keep accidents from happening. Yeah. Same reason that we don't have the door up. Up here we have a storage loft where there's enough room for a twin mattress up there. This will be the living area, I suppose. We have a set of stairs that we have to build to go here that will have storage inside. Okay. We're building them to match the cabinets that we have. We bought maple cabinets. They're really nice. All that will be right here with the sink, refrigerator on this side. We'll have a dining table type area / workbench. This is our shower that goes inside this bathroom, back in this section. Our sink, we bumped this little area of the bathroom out so we could put a sink in. Then we will have our toilet over here, pocket door that closes everything off. Upstairs is the sleeping area. Couple of good things about up there is the skylight that we put up there does open. And the window on the end here is an egress window that can be used for an emergency escape. Everything is built to the highest standards that we can achieve. All the rafters are tied in with what we call hurricane clips. They're rafter clips. The walls, let's see, right here you can see one of the brackets. This goes all the way through the steel frame so that it cannot come loose.
Wow.
And we have these, I think there's 3 down each side. What I have been doing is we have been going over the theory, getting ready to start a new chapter. We've talked about floor framing, and we're getting ready to start wall framing. And along with that chapter, we ordered model home kits that shows them how all the framing members go together, the headers, the studs, and all of that. It came with a set of blueprints that they follow along so that they see what's going on. You just saw the tiny house that we're working on. This is a plan for our next one. We looked at a bunch of different layouts online. Normally we draw our own plans up, but we saw this plan when we were getting ideas, and we really like this plan. We still have to do a lot of work figuring out measurements and everything, but this is designed for a gooseneck or a fifth wheel trailer. And all of this sleeping area will be on top of the tongue of the trailer. Then you have the bathroom here, which is one room, but you have to walk through it to get to the bedroom, so it kind of turns this into a suite. Out here you have the kitchen. There's lots of storage in the kitchen. There is room for a dishwasher. There's room for a washer-dryer combo unit. And you have a large living area at this end with a bar top that you can eat at. And there is a loft up top that is 8 feet by 7 feet, I believe, that would be another sleeping area that you could put a full-size mattress in if you wanted to, but you would have to use a ladder to access it. That's how it starts. We get our ideas, the students make suggestions, and then we implement the ones that we can actually make work.
Well, Mr. Mobley, we appreciate you taking us through your school today and introduce us to your teachers and some of the great work that's happening here. I have to say, though, it's kind of heartbreaking. I heard a lot of echoes today. So I'm looking forward to the time we can come and see this place full back with students, aren't you?
Well, this place has a life of its own when the students are here. It's a living, breathing, vibrant place, and when they're not here, it's like you say, it's pretty sad.
Yeah, it is.
And I can speak for my teachers when we say we can't wait to get back here and have some kids here in person. We miss our students.
And I hope we can come back when kids are here. We can interview you again with some of the kids and watch them get in there and get to work and get their hands dirty and
absolutely
and talk to them. So
We'd like to get on the road and come and visit when we can. Like I say, today I think Robert, I can't get him to write a script anymore. But on the way over, we talked about maybe getting you on the road and going with us, but it might be to your benefit that we didn't do that because, he was driving. So.
Well, thank you, Mr. Vance. I really appreciate that.
You will thank me later.
The guy hits one cow in his life on the road.
See, he hit a cow.
That's a pretty big target. I've never hit a cow.
This fellow raises cows.
Now,
I've never hit a cow.
it's like I told you before, there were 30 of them in the road. I just hit one.
Well,
so I did pretty good.
I guess.
You see what I mean?
I guess.
You see why I stalled till the battery ran out to the end right here?
I don't blame you.
You'll
Thank
thank
you.
me
I owe
later.
you one.
Well, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
And our Kentucky Valley Education Cooperative, and with our good friend Danny and Mr. Mobley, we'll holler at you later.
I'll write you later.